Okay, this video is to show you how to do the special stitches that I use on my Baby Waves cocoon hat and headband pattern. First, I'm going to show you this cluster stitch right here. I've got the beginning of the cocoon and the hat both start the same way. I've got my chain ring, and then for this I've got 12 double crochets in that chain, in that ring. And at the end of this first row, I'm going to join to the top of that first double crochet right there. I don't count the chain 3 as the first stitch in this particular pattern here. Okay, then for the cluster, then to start with, I'm going to chain 2. The first cluster of each row, I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go in that joint, pull up one loop, yarn over again, go through that joint again, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull up another loop. There's 7 loops on my hook now. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 7 of them. Then for this particular row, I'm going to chain 1, then I'm going to do another cluster in that very next stitch. For all the other rows, you do a cluster, chain 1, skip 1, and then cluster in the next stitch. But for this row, we're going to do it in every one, and I'm just going to show you another one of them here. Yarn over, pull through one loop, pull up one loop, yarn over, pull up the second loop, yarn over, pull up the third loop, the third time. But now I've got 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all of them, and then chain 1, and then just go on with your row as you normally would. And when you get to the end of this row, you're going to join in that top of that first cluster there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do the inner wave right here. I call them inner waves. I got 2 inner waves, and then the one outer wave goes around the top of it. Right now we're going to show you the inner wave here. For that row, I'm going to chain 2, which I've already done here. I'm going to do 1 single crochet where I joined it. See, this is another cluster row, and I've joined it in the top of that cluster there. So for this row, I'm going to go single crochet in that joint, then single in the next chain 1 space, single in the next cluster, single in the next chain 1 space. Now I've got four single crochets there. I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to flip this. This is the front of my work. I'm going to flip it to the back of my work, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch in that first single crochet there. Now I have a chain 4 space right there. I'm going to chain 3 and then flip it around to the front, and I'm going to do 6 double crochets in here. 3, 4, 5, 6. And with a regular wave, they have you do 4 double crochets on that first part of it. I'm using the single crochets for this one here. Okay, I got my 6 double crochets in that chain 4 loop there. So then I'm going to come, this was my last single crochet for this wave in that chain 1 space. I'm going to come into this next cluster, and I'm going to start again with 4 single crochet. There's 1, 1 in the chain 1 space, 1 in the next cluster, 1 in the next chain 1 space. So now I've got my 4 single crochet there. I'm going to chain 4, and this time when I flip it to the back, I'm going to join with a slip stitch around this base of this chain 4 space of the last wave that I did. And then chain 3, and then flip it back around to the front, and then keep going like you did before with 6 double crochet. and then just keep going like that. I'm going to start, my next wave's going to start in this next cluster here. Okay, we'll pause this for a minute, and then I'll show you how to do the back post single crochet for the next row here. Okay, I'm at the end of the inner wave row here. Now when I join this one, I'm going to join at the top of that first single crochet that was done. Just going to slip stitch in there, and then for the next row I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to, and this is not going to count as the first stitch either, I'm going to go in that first double crochet right there. I'm going to go around the post of it, and I'm going to do a single crochet around that one, and then do that around the first 4 of the double crochets there. Do a front, back post single crochet around the first 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then skip to the next wave and do the same thing around that first one. 1, 2, 3, whoops, well, okay, got the 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then you just keep doing that all the way around this row, and when you get to the end of this back post single crochet row, I'm going to join it in that top of that first single crochet. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to do the outer wave for the cocoon here. Okay, for this outer wave for this top of the cocoon, I'm going to do a little bit different. I've got my row is already joined the row before. I've got chain 3 here. I'm going to do a double crochet in that joint, then a double crochet in that chain 1 space, and then a half double in the next cluster there, and then a single crochet in the next chain 1 space. And that's just going to give this wave a little more of an angle here. I'm going to chain 4, and the rest of this is going to be just the same. I'm going to flip it over to the back, and for this first wave I'm going to join in that top of that first double crochet that I did. Oops, slip stitch. Wow. Okay, I'm going to do that slip stitch there. Then I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to do the double crochet. I'm going to do 8 double crochet in the top of this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this time I'm going to come down here in this same chain 1 space that I did that last single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch, and that's going to be my first wave. Then for the second one I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to repeat the sequence like I did for this one. Double crochet in this cluster, next cluster, double crochet in the next chain 1 space, half double in the next cluster, single in the next chain 1 space, chain 4, flip it over, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the base of that first or the last chain 4 space that was made. Then I'm going to chain 3, flip it back over, and now this time when I do the first double crochet in this chain 4 space, I'm going to go in the top of that first double crochet for this wave here, and I'm going to go around the chain 4 thing there also, and do that first double crochet just like that. So that's around that chain 4 and in the top of that double crochet there. Then I'm going to do 7 more double crochet. Okay, I've got my 8 double crochet done, the one that was done in that the top of that first double crochet there, and then the other 7, and then I'm going to just repeat like I did for this one here. I'm going to slip stitch in that, and then chain 3, and then do the whole thing over again. Double crochet, half double, single, and then complete your shell. And that's how you do the outer wave. Okay, now for the hat and for the headband both, the wave is basically the same as the inner wave was. I got 4 single crochet, then you chain 4, join it in that chain 4 loop of the last wave there, and then I'm chaining 2, and then instead of doing double crochet in that chain 4 space, I do half double crochet. And that's what I've done around this the top part of this headband here. This is the preemie size, and so at the end of that wave row that goes around the top of it, and like I said before, this is the same as on the hat there. At the end of this row, I've got it joined in that top of that first single crochet that I made for this wave row. Then I chained 6, and now for the headband only. For the hat, you don't have to do this. For the hat, you just, at the end of that last wave, you just join it right there and then finish off. But for the headband, I'm going to, after that chain 6, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to go in the bottom of that first cluster that was done, and I'm going to slip stitch, and I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in the top of that cluster, single crochet in that next, what would have been the skipped chain in that beginning chains of your headband there. Then I'm going to single crochet in the bottom of the next cluster, single crochet in that next skipped chain space. Now I've got 4 there. Now I'm just going to repeat it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to repeat the wave thing. Chain 4, flip it over, single crochet, or rather join with the slip stitch in that first of the 4 single crochets there, and that gives me a chain 4 space, the first one for this side of the headband. Chain 2, flip it back over, and then I'm going to do the half double crochets in here. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then single crochet in that next, in the bottom of that next cluster, single crochet in the next skipped chain space, single crochet in the next cluster, and single crochet in that next skip chain space. 2, 3, 4, flip it over and join in that first chain 4 space of this row, which was the last chain 4 space that I did, and make a new chain 4 space. I'm going to chain 2, flip it back over, and then do my 6 half double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just keep going like that. Just continue start your next wave there, single crochet there, single crochet there, single crochet there, and then single crochet in there, and then finish your waves. And then at the end of this row, you're going to do just like you did with the other ones. You're going to join in the top of that first single crochet that was made, and that's it.